Sparks. It's the show that talks about what's happening in the news, locally, regionally, and nationally. There will be guests, and Noah Haswell will have the news at the top and bottom of each hour. You're in the Fast Lane. And now, here is the host of the show, Frank Sparks.
And good morning and welcome to Driving in the Fast Lane for a Tuesday. And we got a lot going on today. It's going to be a fast-paced day. So we're going to start out in hour number one. Brandon Antinopoulos is here from Forward RX. And then in hour number two, Charlie will be here with Garden Jargon. And Charlie Dirt will be in the house. And we're going to flip over. And Scott's going to take over at 11 o'clock. So he'll be doing Garden Jargon with you today. But I'm going to hang out with Brandon for hour number one. And we got a lot we're going to talk about. And with that, let's say good morning to Brandon. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good. Sun's shining. I saw that someone was working out, making the property, kind of gardening out there, nice and beautiful. It's a perfect day for that. And hopefully the weather stays this way because we got Night Mart in New Brighton.
That's tonight, right?
Tonight, yeah.
Okay.
First one of the summer, so it's usually a good turnout for that too.
Well, the head of maintenance, Tony, he's like really proud of the way this place looks.
Oh yeah.
So our first car cruise is Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they're getting it all looking nice and everything. And if you notice, there's new grass in the islands and everything. And
yeah.
So he's real. When people show up here for the car cruises, he's real proud about the fact the way the place looks.
Oh,
so,
good. Well, doing a good job. Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, all kinds of mulch, and they're doing it up for sure. So what's been going on in your world? Anything good? Anything bad?
Yeah, no, mostly good for us.
Okay.
It's another month. We had another good month, or as far as like record month, as far as like helping folks and getting new folks within the pharmacy. So Forward RX Pharmacy, we are an independent cost plus pharmacy. Located on the main street of New Brighton, 809 3rd Avenue in New Brighton. We're your, typical independent pharmacy on a mission to bring transparency, affordability, and patient choice back to healthcare. We do that by eliminating the insurance middlemen that have been responsible for, any terrible experience that you've had at a pharmacy counter anywhere else. As well as, ridiculously inflated prices for your prescriptions, especially for generic prescriptions. We bypass all of that and just do upfront, transparent, cost-plus pricing on prescription medication. So anyone can go to our website, fwdrx.com, check out all the prices on all the medications that we have there. We're very transparent about what it cost us and our markups, and a lot of times, depending on your insurance situation, we can help save you a lot of money. And so it's actually, we've been so busy, I didn't even realize it until this morning. We're actually, this month's our 2-year anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah,
awesome.
Thanks. So 2 years that we've been open and operating. And whenever I took a look back, and I try to keep track every once in a while of how much money that we've saved, the healthcare system, whether patients out of pocket, as well as government programs and employers by bypassing the insurance middleman system. It's very fitting that we're just shy of $2 million in savings that we've been able to deliver with our model to people. So and the model's catching on. So even though we try to do as much as we can to educate people in the community, as well as educate prescribers of why it doesn't always make sense to use insurance for prescription drugs, even whenever you have it. As we continue to grow, it seems like the world is growing with us, and we're involved in a lot of upcoming pilots projects. So pretty excited about the talk about today.
Well, and you guys are also growing so much that you're delivering now as well.
Yes, yeah. So we do
new
delivery
vehicle.
Yeah,
from what I'm hearing, the new delivery vehicle.
So it's my car that I've driven for a while, but I got one of those Cricut machines that you can cut out the vinyl and that kind of stuff.
You did it on your own.
Yeah,
okay.
So I had a nice weekend project a couple of weeks ago. To where we put the Ford RX logo on the side, and we put it on the hood of the car too. And funny story, my wife, when she was leaving for work on Monday morning after I did, she knew I was putting the logo on the side of the car.
Yeah.
she didn't realize I was going to put the logo on the hood of the car. So when she got into the garage and went to go leave for work in the morning, she takes a picture of it and sends me a text, and she goes like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, you like it? See, it grabbed your attention. You know, that's the point of it." And
now, how'd you get the big one on the hood? Because crickets don't really make that big, so you had to do pieces?
Yeah,
Okay.
piece it together. Yeah, so we did, each individual, color, first and that kind of stuff. So, I always like to tinker with crafts and things like that. Some people know this, but even for my wedding, gosh, and actually our 13-year anniversary is coming up, I made my own Iron Man suit.
Oh, really?
Yes, out of like foam anti-fatigue mats that you would see at a gym or something like that. So it was actually, I kind of always, followed some of the costs. Never got into like cosplay when people like create their own, movie things and all that kind of stuff. But, saw that there was a way to do it. So at the time before we got married, I said to my wife, Christy, I was like, "Hey, you know what? I got this idea. Like I want to make the Iron Man suit. And then whenever we come out as like husband and wife, we'll come out to AC/DC Back in Black, and my groomsmen will take the pieces off, and I'll have like the tuxedo on underneath, kind of like at the beginning of Iron Man 2. And she didn't say anything.
Was that a good not say nothing or a bad not say nothing?
So I just figured, she didn't have the heart to say, like now after 13 years of marriage, she probably would have said like, absolutely not.
Right, yeah.
But, she probably didn't want to hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Well, so it was actually 5 weeks before we got married. And out of nowhere, she says, "Hey, that Iron Man suit idea, you really think you could get that done in time for the wedding?" And what are you saying? She's like, "Well, go ahead and get started on it, and we'll see how it goes." So I was still in pharmacy school at the time.
Okay.
We lived in an apartment right above my family's pharmacy. So I would, whenever I was not in school, I would work from 9 to 7. I'd go upstairs in the apartment, eat real quick. And then from 7:30 to midnight for 5 weeks, I worked on that suit.
Oh, wow.
And made it. So if anyone, if they were at my wedding or has videos of it, I'm sure they can be quick to post it to Facebook. But yeah, we had to walk out to AC/DC Back in Black,
cool,
had the Iron Man suit. So I've always had a little like, arts and craft kind of tinker kind of thing. So this was, putting the car together. And even just this morning, I was dropping my son off at school, and my wife's friend, she's in the car drop-off line in front of me, and I could see her like looking in the rear view mirror, and she's chuckling, and as she's driving away, she's like taking video of it. I knew she was going to send it to my wife, and even there, I was like, what, maybe we're on to something here. Maybe I should have something where like, hey, take a video of the Ford RX Mobile if you see it, post on social media, tag my wife, and anyone that does it maybe gets a discount on something, or I don't know. So, but now she laughs every time one of her friends sees me driving around the car, takes a video of it, and says like, hilarious. "Oh, there goes your husband."
That's hilarious. Do you know one thing you don't have to worry about now, right?
What's that?
Her taking your car anymore.
She exactly said that. She said, "I am never driving your car again." I was like, "Come on, if we're sitting there idle at home, we need to, it's a moving billboard.
Her car's in the shop. You're a driver for the day, buddy."
Exactly.
While she has her head down.
Yep, she already said that. But no, she laughs about it now. She gets a kick out of it. But yeah,
awesome.
Even when she walked out, she was like, "What is this, NASCAR? Why'd you have to put it on the hood?" And I was like, "Yeah, see, it's grabbing attention, doing exactly what it's supposed to do."
Does she usually listen to the show?
I don't know. She works at Dragon Jacks and Monaca. I know they usually have some, music playing. I don't know if they have. The radio station playing. I hope they do, but if not, I'm sure she gets a chance to play this back.
Well, she doesn't. Well, I'm going to Charlotte next week for the Coke 600.
Okay.
I can bring you back some decals. You can put on the roof and stuff, like a number and stuff like that. Put it right on the roof.
Yeah.
Get you some decals.
Yeah, that'll be perfect. Yeah.
Hey, you can get like what's your middle initial?
C.
So you can do like BCA Racing, with the things on the front.
Yeah.
Put your number on the. Oh yeah, we could really do it up for you.
That's what we're gonna have the AI like design program.
Right.
Be like, hey, take the car and really take it over the top of how we can add some.
Send me a picture. I'll make sure.
Awesome. You
I'll
got
make
it.
sure I'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do
I'll
it today.
All
Awesome.
right. I'll make sure I do it. That's funny. Oh my. All right. So let's get into some serious stuff now. We've been screwing around a little bit. So a couple new pilot programs you've been part of. You kind of talked a little bit about it last month. Has the pricing changed on that like you were expecting? And fill us in a little bit on them.
Yeah. So a couple pilot programs. And so the first one I'll talk about, I think is really just a testament of how pharmacy is changing. Remember last month that we were in here, it was coming off of our state association had the legislative day.
Right.
And we're working on, proposing changes within Medicaid's prescription benefit system, and essentially to do what our pricing that we do at Forward RX, make it so that every pharmacy that participates in Medicaid system would now adopt pricing that's similar to that. Mm-hmm. So not only is it beneficial for the pharmacies, but it would save the Medicaid system lots of money. And Ohio already did this, and they had over $300 million of savings. All the states around us are doing this. And now even our wholesaler, so our primary wholesaler is Value Drug Company. They're based out of Altoona. There's approximately close to, I think, 1,000 pharmacies, mostly independent, that they service in 8 states, but being in Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania is one of their core ones. Well, since we have myself and the originator of this model from 6 years ago that we talked about before, Blueberry Pharmacy, that's also part of them, they came to us with a pilot. Essentially, even though pharmacies like Forward RX and Blueberry Pharmacy and, the 3 dozen others across the country, even though we do our pricing very different than what your typical pharmacy does, in the eyes of the pharmaceutical industry, we're still viewed as a, typical retail independent pharmacy. What the pilot we're in now would create a separate class of trade, is what it's called.
Okay.
And this is the first time that, folks in the pharmaceutical industry would recognize that there's such a thing as retail cost plus. So now we have our own designation that we're piloting that says, hey, this pharmacy, while it's a retail pharmacy like your other independent pharmacy, their commitment to transparency and simple cost plus markups, we're going to treat them a little differently. And so what they're doing with us and piloting is we get exclusive pricing. Really, they're doing how we do cost plus on our pricing.
Okay.
The wholesaler is now piloting doing cost plus pricing to us. So essentially they're saying, hey, we're going to do away with the industry rebates and all the other stuff that we've done in the past. And whatever our cost is to get it from the manufacturers, plus a markup that covers the cost for the wholesaler to be able to distribute the medications, they're now going to come up with pricing specifically for us to do our cost plus model. What this is translating into is much better than actually what I suspected. So basically, our costs on, I'd say 98% of the generics that we buy from them has gone down. And even the medication we talked about last month, Farxiga, or the generic, the Pagliflozin, that had been out. And originally, I think whenever the generics came out, our price was $34 for a month's supply. Then even at the time that we talked on the radio, it was down to $17. Just an example, that medication now for someone to get filled through us is a month's supply for $13. A 3-month supply for $22. Yeah, and this is a medication that people are still being charged, and insurance companies are still billing over $300 for that medication based on the old pricing. So we're pretty excited about this. Not only does it mean, I always say when our cost goes down, our price goes down. We're immediately making new prices available on our website to reflect how our costs are going down. I truly believe in we'll know in the next 60 to 90 days how this works for the wholesaler. If that's the case, they're going to open it up to any pharmacy that's doing what we're doing can participate in doing that. And really that's going to mean, again, preserving pharmacy access for people, especially out in those rural areas that have closed a lot of pharmacies. Now, the fact that we'll get treated a little different and have access to a little bit better pricing than what your typical pharmacy is, and we'll be able to pass those savings on directly to patients. It's pretty exciting. And I think there's going to be even a time where brand name manufacturers recognize, hey, here's pharmacies that aren't doing this whole rebate game. We can get our medications to them at much lower prices than through the typical drug channel because they're not going to add all their middleman markups in between. So we're not there yet, but this is pretty exciting. And really, this is going to change the whole entire pharmaceutical industry.
Where'd the idea come from for this pilot? Was it their idea, or did you guys go to them with it? Or
yeah, so I think noticing that they weren't always the lowest price on everything, and especially where some of the more common medications that we would dispense were not a lot of the common medications that other pharmacies would get and dispense. And plus other pharmacies a lot of times try to beat up the wholesalers on the brand name medications. Like we want big rebates on the brand name medications because those are the ones that we're losing money on, but yet they're the most costly. And so for a pharmacy like mine at Forward RX Pharmacy and Blueberry Pharmacy, we had said, like, look, we don't care about rebates. Like, we don't play the whole rebate game. That's the whole reason why we opened up and decided to do this model. We just want lowest cost, affordable price on the invoice and the way we do the markups. And until that happens, we have to continue looking for the most affordable price for patients out there. And it really, I think, is a testament to their leadership and wanting to stay innovative. And I think it even at least recognizing as more pharmacies like ours are continuing to grow, Mark Cuban's cost plus online drugs becoming more popular, that this is the way the industry is changing. And so they actually came to us and said, like, hey, we hear the feedback, we see where the direction of the industry is going. Would you mind piloting with us this retail cost plus class of trade pilot? We'll see how it goes in the hopes that if it goes well for everyone, we can really expand this out and be the first wholesaler in the country to be able to offer this to independent pharmacies, which is really cool. So I think it's just having a great, they're kind of like the independent version of a wholesaler. We don't use every industry's got a big three. We don't use the big three of the wholesalers either. And so I think for one, it's just a testament to Value Drug Company out in Altoona, listening to its members, even two of its members, because, we don't really, our purchases compared to your typical pharmacy are like nothing. So the fact that they want to pilot this with us and hold us just as important as anyone else that's buying $5 million worth of drugs a year from them is pretty cool.
What was your thought whenever they came back? Like, you guys said, what about this model? Let's try it. And they came back and said, yeah, you had to be pleased that they were willing to do that.
Absolutely. It was a testament that, that what we're doing is working, and we're changing the industry for the better. And even if you're someone who doesn't need the services of a Forward RX Pharmacy now, each year, the price of insurance is going up for everyone, and the benefits are getting worse. And I've taken, I know no one's really thinking about Medicare for next year. I've taken a look at what the plans are. Like, you think it's bad this year, it's going to get worse next year and worse after that, unfortunately. So that just means that, even if you're in a position where you don't really need our services now, and I think that's a good thing, that it validates that what we're doing is working, it's making a difference, and we're gonna be here long term. And I hope other pharmacies continue to be there long term. And so it kind of just, to me, shows that, hey, what we're doing is working. And again, there's so much money being ripped off from people within healthcare, and at least here's a wholesaler that says, hey, you know what, we're willing to give up the status quo and still make money to run our business and not have to rip off pharmacies, just like as us as pharmacies saying, hey, we're still going to do something to not have to rip off people and run our pharmacies. And it's going to take more of that to change healthcare status quo, and that's happening right here in Pennsylvania, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, 724-774-1888 or 843-1888. If you have any questions, we're going to take a short break, and Noah's going to have news, and we'll be back with more right after this here on Beaver County Radio.
Assistance with auto, homeowners, renters, life, and pet insurance. Dan Hoffman State Farm on Dutch Ridge Road is always there to help. Dan Hoffman State Farm brings excellent customer service to both new and existing customers, understanding insurance needs to prepare for the unexpected. Call your Beaver County neighbor Dan at 724-728-2702 or visit HoffmanSFinsurance.com for more information. That's Dan Hoffman State Farm, 3465 Dutch Ridge Road, Beaver. May is Maytag month, the best time of the year to save on powerful, dependable Maytag appliances. Right now at AK Nahas, save up to 30% off Maytag appliances. Get a Maytag stainless steel dishwasher with Power Blast cleaning for $5.69. Special savings on a 25 cubic foot large family capacity stainless French door refrigerator, just $17.49. Built for tough loads, get a deep fill reliable Maytag washer, now only $5.49. And for Maytag month, you'll receive free delivery, setup, and removal. Only at AK Nahas Appliance, Furniture, and Mattress. You'll do okay with AK.
Have you ever found something interesting that makes you go, oh? Then tune in every other Tuesday from 5 to 5:30 p.m. on Beaver County Radio for the Oh Show with Orlana Dawkins Drury. Orlana relates her views about informing, inspiring, and entertaining headlines that makes the world go round in interviews with local influencers that make you go, oh. The episode will be on Beaver County Radio Facebook and YouTube pages, so make sure to join the Oh Show with Orlana Dawkins Drury every other Tuesday from 5 to 5:30 right here on 99.3 FM and 1230 WBVP. Not a whole lot of anything surprises her that I do anymore. We have Art Cornell here from the Beaver Cemetery and Mausoleum. Art, what's new at the cemetery?
We've just completed a new addition to the mausoleum with above-ground burial crypts, indoor and outdoor niches, and family areas. The Beaver Mausoleum advantages include no plot maintenance, the convenience of a heated and air-conditioned building for visitation, and an adjoining private chapel. It's a perfect final resting place for your loved ones.
Thanks, Art. Beaver Cemetery and Mausoleum, serving all of Beaver County since 1865.
Hey, Bill, what's going on? I haven't seen you here in a long time.
Well, my mom can't stay at home any longer, and I've been trying to figure out what the best placement options are for her. There's so much to consider. Location, cost, eligibility, payment options, services. It's confusing and time-consuming.
When my dad was having the same issues, I called Charlie Jenkins. Charlie is a local independent senior living advisor who will help you navigate through all those questions. She was able to explore options that fit our preferences and met my dad's needs within his budget. Her business name is C. Jenkins Placement Services, and it was exactly the one-stop shop I needed. Once we took care of getting Dad set up in the right place, Charlie's business coordinated everything I needed to get Dad's home in shape to sell. It was a huge relief having all that managed, especially with my long work hours. She also offers a no-obligation consultation.
Really? How can I get a hold of Charlie?
You can call or text Charlie at 724-714-1774 or email her at cjenkinsplacesforyou@gmail.com.
Wow, I'm going to give C. Jenkins Placement Services a call right now.
The views and opinions expressed on WBVP and WMBA are those of the participants and host. They are not necessarily the viewpoint of WBVP and WMBA, its staff, management, and advertisers. Thank you for listening to WBVP and WMBA.
Put freedom in your future. Freedom United Federal Credit Union in Rochester.
SVG striving to be chase-worthy. I'm Susie Armstrong. The story next on NASCAR Today.
Thank you all the veterans and those that are serving today.
The engines roar. The crowd screams. And the day is set to perfect.
Freedom is not free.
A celebration of life, liberty, and the pursuit of speed. That's why we stand with pride and reverence to celebrate the men and women whose sacrifice and commitment makes our pursuit possible. NASCAR salutes together with Coca-Cola at Dover. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on FS1. Pack your crew and ignite your weekend. Michigan summers don't whisper, they roar. Camp under the sun at NASCAR's fastest track. The Firekeepers Casino 400. Fast cars, loud engines, and chaos. The ultimate summer kickoff. Michigan never looked this good.
Hell yeah, boys!
NASCAR weekend at Michigan International Speedway. June 5th through 7th. Get your tickets now at mispeedway.com.
Shane Van Gisbergen was an unstoppable force Sunday at Watkins Glen International. Following his first victory of the season, the New Zealander rose to 16th in the NASCAR Cup Series standings and into chase contention, for now. The Trackhouse Racing pilot knows his stance is tenuous at best, and steady improvement on ovals will be the key.
I really want to earn my way in this year, and that's what you have to do. And I felt like we've been hovering around that cut line, even though the last few races haven't been good and we didn't have an amazing coda. It's been cool to be majority ovals and still fighting to get into the chase. So it's been a pretty cool thing, even to be struggling to be there. And I know that cool to be in that fight, knowing we can still improve so much.
I'm Susie Armstrong. This is NASCAR Today on the Motor Racing Network.
Beaver County Radio's news source. 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, and beavercountyradio.com. Here's Noah Haswell.
Good morning on this Tuesday, May 12th of 2026. We will have a complete Beaver County radio weather forecast after we take this look at news. It has been nearly 8 years since Rachel Del Tondo was shot and killed in the driveway of her parents' home in Aliquippa. Although investigators have publicly identified a prime suspect, Sheldon Jeter Jr., Del Tondo's former boyfriend, no arrests have been made. Now dozens of newly unsealed search warrants reviewed by KDKA-TV online outline what investigators describe as a compelling circumstantial case against Jeter. Prosecutors, however, have continued to maintain that the evidence is insufficient to file charges. Authorities said Del Tondo was found shot to death on May 13, 2018, after returning home from getting ice cream with friends. Investigators said she was shot near the end of her driveway after getting out of a vehicle on Mother's Day. Pennsylvania State Police in Beaver said charges against a 21-year-old Beaver Falls man were withdrawn following a rollover crash Friday in Raccoon Township. According to police, Ivan Benucci was driving along Moffett Mill Road around 5 a.m. when he attempted to move over to allow a southbound vehicle to pass. Investigators said the vehicle entered the soft shoulder, which gave way under the vehicle's weight, causing it to roll down a hillside. Police said both Benucci and a passenger suffered minor injuries and were taken to Allegheny General Hospital for treatment. Pennsylvania State Police in Newcastle said a 25-year-old Volant man was charged following a two-vehicle crash Sunday in Lawrence County. According to police, Shane Coast was driving along Lakewood-Neshannock Falls Road in Hickory Township around 3:35 p.m. when his vehicle crossed the center line and struck another vehicle driven by 56-year-old Ginger Grannis of Newcastle. Police said Grannis suffered a suspected minor injury and was taken to UPMC Jameson Hospital for evaluation. No other injuries were reported. President Donald Trump said in a phone interview with CBS News on Monday that he wants to temporarily suspend the federal gas tax. Analysts say prices are expected to remain elevated as Iran continues blocking access to the Strait of Hormuz. However, suspending the federal excise tax would require approval from Congress. Gas prices here in western Pennsylvania rose another 20 cents this week to an average of about $4.85 per gallon, according to AAA East Central's gas price report. These increases come amid negotiations to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. In Beaver County, the average price for a gallon of regular unleaded gasoline is about $4.96. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are extending the contract of veteran kicker Chris Boswell through the 2030 season. According to Adam Schefter, the Steelers agreed to a 4-year, $28 million contract extension with Boswell that carries an average annual salary of $7 million. The deal ties Boswell with Brandon Aubrey of the Dallas Cowboys as the highest-paid kicker in NFL history based on annual salary. Boswell has served as the Steelers' kicker for the past 11 seasons and owns a career field goal percentage of 87.7%.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Today we'll see increasing clouds, followed by a chance of showers overnight. We'll reach highs of 71 and drop down to lows of 55. And tomorrow, look for gusty winds with a chance of rain and possible thunderstorms. Expect highs near 67 and lows in the mid-40s. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
On this Tuesday, May 12th of 2026 at 39 minutes after 10, we've got a temperature of 58 degrees with fair skies currently in Beaver County. That's a look at the news for now. I'm Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM, AM 1230 WBVP, 95.7 FM, and 1460 AM WMBA. Also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
You're driving in the fast lane with Frank Sparks on 99.3 FM and 1230 WBVP. You can also stream live on beavercountyradio.com.
It is 11:40 in Beaver County, visiting in hour number 1 with Brandon Antinopoulos from Forward RX. And we left off, we've been talking a little bit about these pilot programs that Brandon has been part of. And there's actually, we did the first one. So tell us a little bit about the second one that is actually a manufacturer discount coupon program type thing.
Yeah, sure. So, and again, this kind of gets in line with how we mentioned on, our wholesalers creating this retail cost plus class of trade. My hope is that, in a few years from now, brand manufacturers will start to recognize this class of trade also. And so that we can get their medications direct already at discounted prices and to be able to apply our markup. So we don't have that yet. But in the meantime, brand manufacturers are looking for ways and recognizing with some medications that there's this appetite for people to still want to bypass insurance. And if they're going to pay, hey, what's the cash price? There's just a discounted price for that. That's the whole premise behind, Trump RX, being able to put a lot of brand name medications that even people, with insurance would pay higher prices of. And, unfortunately, we're at the point where if you just say, hey, what's the cash price? You can pay a much lower price. So we've been working on a pilot this past few months, specifically with one manufacturer for the maker of a medication called Sutabs. So this is a colonoscopy bowel prep kit.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, so before then, they had one of the more popular bowel prep kits was called Suprep. If you remember, before then, if you were getting ready for your colonoscopy, you just had like the giant
jug
4-liter jug that you had to mix with the water, and you had to drink the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
And so they came out with Suprep, which is, hey, you don't have to mix the jugs. We're just going to give you these 2 bottles of liquid. Yeah, you still had to mix it with water, but you do it the night before and then the morning of your colonoscopy prep. Even though much less water or liquid to consume, for some people it was still a lot. And there was always this interest in saying, hey, can't you just give us the medication in tablet form?
Right.
So they came out with Sutabs. While there's a generic available of the Suprep, and our price on that is $22 now. So again, before we started this pilot with Value Drug, our price on it was about $33 or $34. Now within this pilot already, at least $10, we can get it for cheaper now, the same exact thing. And, for the generic Suprep, it's now $22 through us. But the Sutabs, the industry's set retail price on these are $183. So what usually happens is they're much more convenient, and the GI doctors that are doing the colonoscopy seem to be writing for it more because of the convenience of it. It's usually not covered by insurance, even though the colonoscopy centers will send the coupon information with the patient and be like, hey, even if it's not covered, here, just use this coupon. Whenever they send that information to the pharmacies, for my assumption, the pharmacies are too busy to even look or pay attention or to even deal with any time with it.
Right.
So they try to process it, and it creates this whole back and forth with you and the patient being in the middle, where the pharmacy's telling you, hey, it's not covered, you need a prior auth. So you call the colonoscopy center and say, hey, the pharmacy told me I need a prior auth. and then they tell you you don't need a prior auth. They just need to process the coupon. And then now you're in the middle of the phone tree between the colonoscopy and the pharmacy, and the colonoscopy center's mad at the pharmacy center's mad at the colonoscopy.
Been there, done that.
Exactly. Yeah. So we did is we figured, okay, we'll work with this one pilot program specifically for the suit tabs to see how it goes for us to be able to do the discount pricing. So now the price through us for the suit tabs is $60. Doesn't matter what insurance you have, don't have, we bypass that. It all goes directly submitted to the manufacturer. The manufacturer basically buys down or discounts the price. So at least within a month, we get paid the amount of money to cover, our cost to get the suit tab kit. But no matter what, anyone who comes to us, we just know, apply the coupon and it makes the price $60. A lot of positive reviews from the colonoscopy centers, even the patients that get referred to us. And again, with our ability to even ship it, we have patients as far out as Pittsburgh, all the way out in Marge that are getting referred to us just to say like, hey, my pharmacy's telling me that I got to get these and it's $183, and the colonoscopy center told me to call you. Is it really $60? And we say, yes, it's really $60. We just, the manufacturer discounts the price through us, and we can get it out to you. And so that's been going very well for both us and the patients. So we're looking to expand kind of that process and to see if there are other manufacturer discount programs that we can pilot to do that same thing. So we're going to be starting one probably here within the next week. That we'll be able to offer that direct-to-patient prices on the popular GLP-1 medications. That's something, anytime we got a question, we always would just have to say, you don't want to pay our price, go to the manufacturer website, go to the manufacturer website. That's the lowest price that you're going to be able to get is their direct-to-patient price. We're now going to be able to pilot and offer, hey, what would that look like if we could offer that direct-to-patient price for patients for those medications at the counter. So like your Ozempic, Wegovy, Zepbound, there's the new Foundeo, which is the GLP-1 kind of tablet or oral pill. Now that you always get advertised on like Trump RX and all these other places, it's like, it's $149. And I'm like, no, for us, it's still $1,300. Well, we're still going to have to buy it at the $1,300. However, within the manufacturer discount program in this pilot, we're going to see about that process to where you don't have to pay that full amount up front. We could offer that discount pricing, and then the manufacturer is going to pay us directly to offset that price. So it's still not ideal. Obviously, I think what I would prefer is we just get that lowest net price, and then we don't have to play this discount processing game. However, at least now we're going to be able to get patients these medications. Atlantis is another one that's we've gotten calls for that brand name insulin, and you can get it for $35 anywhere else for a box of the insulin pens, even if your insurance doesn't cover it. We'll now be able to offer that through this new pilot program too. So with these two pilots working together, I think we're going to get to a point where we no longer have to do the discount claim submission. We're just going to be able to offer direct upfront pricing to the patient. So regardless, it's not going to look any different from the patient's perspective. It's still going to not involve the insurance middleman that tax on their rebates and all that kind of stuff. It is a claim submission process and a discount that we're going to have to wait for payment on. But it is something I think it's, a lot of people have been asking for. It's right for the patient. And so our ability to now participate in this, I think, is going to be pretty significant, at least now that we don't have to say, hey, go to this place or go to this place. We'll now be able to get that pricing to you directly.
Now, do you get a lot of people that are after the GLPs for weight loss compared to like diabetes or something else?
It's kind of for both. I'm trying to think of
I mean, because they're getting so popular right now with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, certainly for the weight loss versions of it, the direct pay or the cash pay model, there seems to be more uptake in that, because I think those traditionally, whilst there is coverage for the ones for diabetes,
right?
Yes, there may be like a prior auth process, and you have to kind of jump through some hoops until your insurance does decide to cover that. There does seem to be more coverage if it's for diabetes as opposed to the weight loss ones. But we still get questions in both scenarios or both situations, and in the both cases for us, you know, people are usually calling us because their insurance doesn't cover any of them,
right?
In which we would refer them direct to the manufacturer website to get it direct from the manufacturer at the lowest available price.
Okay.
But I see questions for both. I think the uptake in bypassing insurance and going direct to patient price, you see more on the weight loss versions.
I know, talking to my doctor previously about those, about the getting on something like that and stuff. He told me, he said that, at first when this all started and they first discovered this, it was easy to get it authorized. But now you got to really, really prove you have diabetes in order to get authorized for it. So a lot of people are looking for it out of pocket now because they know they have to pay for it themselves. And like he said, no, we can prescribe it, but it's $1,300, $1,400 a month if you want us to prescribe it for you.
Yep.
And it's even more. And, he's not a fan of them to begin with.
Yeah.
So, because he says, it actually reduces your muscle mass. And so he's not a fan to start with, but he says they're so popular. But I'll prescribe them for anybody that wants to try them. But you're not going to get approved through your insurance. I can guarantee you that.
Right. And I think part of that, too, is the cost. So the cost of these medications, even before there were the weight loss ones, there was always like Ozempic and Zepbound for the diabetes. And I'm trying to think, I wasn't in the pharmacy 4 or 5 years ago to know exactly what the cost was, but I would say like for the cost for a pharmacy to put those medications on their shelf was half of what it is now. So you're probably talking only $500 to $600.
Well, as soon as they seen the popularity, they probably seen ching, 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 started raising the price.
Yep. And insurance companies, they are within all the middlemen and the PBMs, they make their money based off of a percentage of the rebates. So I think the actual cost that the manufacturer gets paid, like the example. So, the direct to patient price now is $149 a month for the lowest dose.
Right.
That to me tells me that the manufacturer at the end of the day, after all the rebates and discounts and all that stuff, was always making close to $149. Wow. So even though the price billed to insurance, billed to employers, billed to government has continued to go on up and up and up and up and up, really what the manufacturer makes has stayed the same. It's just been that rebate game in between. And so before, I think the insurances really liked the prices going up and getting a percentage of that rebate, because now they were saying hey, we can negotiate. We're negotiating bigger rebates for you. But as premiums have skyrocketed for employers and even for Medicaid programs, and everyone's like, why are the premiums up? So why are the premiums going up? And the insurance companies also, like, they're trying to make their cake and have it too. They're like, well, it's because of these GLP-1s. Well, why are you covering them? And so for them to have the pressure, especially from employers, they've started to dial back on how much that they've covered for those. But, he's absolutely right. And you're absolutely right. Years ago, especially for like the indication for diabetes alone, yes, there was a side effect of weight loss. And that's where they were like, oh, maybe we have a weight loss drug. It was kind of like how Viagra was created. Viagra was originally Revatio for pulmonary hypertension. Then they discovered, hey, males that were taking this were getting erections, and it was kind of like, oh, now we have an ED drug.
Yeah, right.
Let's market it the same thing under a different name.
Because you see a ton of them being marketed now. Like now they got pill versions, and you still can get the shots if you want. And there's just so many different what is it, that Hims that you see on
Yes.
TV all the time, Roe, all those different companies you see on TV are now marketing it as a pill, but you can still get the shots as well.
Yep.
And they're pricey.
Oh yeah, and it's wild because I can't remember a time where there's been this much consumer or patient demand for a particular medication.
I want that miracle drug.
Yeah, I mean, and not to pick on Viagra and Cialis, but that was probably the closest we ever came to like what we have with like the popularity of like the GLP-1s like now, and even those were really never covered by insurance, so it was always a direct pay price. What's also interesting is in other countries, all the generics of those are coming out now. So in other countries, except for the U.S., patents have expired. You now have generic Ozempic, generic, or Zepbound, and all these other countries. And so it's going to be interesting to see how much lower those medications are going to go in other countries while we're still here in the U.S. waiting for patents to expire, probably another, it's at least more than 2 years, maybe close to 5 years until that happens, that there's still going to be that much consumer demand for that high a price.
Right. That's crazy. So, all right, in the last minute or so, we have tell everybody about Forward RX and how they can get a hold of you, Brandon.
Yeah, sure. So Forward RX Pharmacy, we are down on the main street of New Brighton at 809 3rd Avenue in New Brighton. You can give us a call, 724-246-6257. Either myself or our other pharmacist, Renee Richardson's there. Can help you with any questions that you may have, especially about cost of your medications. You can also check us out on our website, fwdrx.com, to learn a little more, get started if you want to transfer your medications to us. You can also check out the prices on our live price checker there of what your medications would cost. So we're just here to help you free yourself from all the hassle and hidden costs of using insurance elsewhere that's been responsible for increases in prices of healthcare, as well as ruining your experience at the pharmacy counter at other places.
All right. As always, the hour goes fast.
It does.
Boom, it's over,
Yeah.
So,
hopefully for next month, we debut the new Ford RX racing car.
Oh, yeah, we have to. There's no doubt. We got to. So, all right. Next month's June 9th, Brandon will be here. So I will look forward to having a topic, and we'll have what's your favorite number? We got to come up with a number for the side of the car.
13.
13. Oh, okay. All right. We'll have some fun with that. So look forward to it, though. It'll be we'll debut it on Facebook, and you can see the Ford RX Toyota, correct? Is that what you got at Toyota?
It's a Honda.
Honda, okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're coming into NASCAR next year, so that's perfect.
Ugh.
New Honda prototype, the Ford RX Mobile.
Man, how cool would that be? We definitely don't price gouge people enough to be able to put our logo on the side of the NASCAR, but that's all right.
Yeah.
At least
we'll make one.
Yeah. So it'll get a reaction out of my wife, so that'll be the funny part.
That's awesome. So, all right, buddy. Well, we'll see you next month.
All right, we'll see you. Thank you.
All right, coming up next, we have Garden Jargon with Charlie Dirt here on Beaver County Radio right after Top of the Hour News.
Are you frustrated by high copays for your generic drugs? Stop overpaying and start saving. Discover Forward RX, your local cost plus pharmacy in New Brighton. At Forward RX, we believe in transparency and affordability.